Earlier in the week, precisely on Monday, Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State announced the closure of Onitsha Main Market because of Monday sit at home. This is not a routine policy announcement. This decision touches the heartbeat of commerce in Southeast and directly affects millions of ordinary people in Igbo land. Onitsha Main Market is one of the largest markets in West Africa. Every single day, it feeds families across Anambra, Delta, Imo, Abia, Enugu, and beyond. For many traders there, 1 day of sales equals 1 day of food. No buffer, no safety net. What they just do is trade and feed. Before I go further, listen carefully to the governor himself.
This whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Are you hearing me? Yes, each Monday will come and inspect. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. If you like, I don't mind shutting down main market for the remainder of this year. I'm just from Oka. Everywhere is open. And people are going about their businesses. Then you come down to Onitsha. Come down to Main Market. The once reputed market as the largest market in West Africa. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I have just driven all the way from the junction with Ose to this place. Through much of Johnson, I've seen through Johnson, I've seen through Bright, and the shops locked up. I've peeped inside, a few persons here and there. I know that people have done this sit at home on Mondays for quite some time now, and as they say, you know, an abomination that lasts a year becomes culture. No. This can no longer go on in Anambra. You either decide that you want to trade here or you can go elsewhere. This main market, if you don't want it open, I'll come and take bulldozer and level it. Are you hearing me? And I'm very, very serious about it. I'm not joking. Going forward, any Monday, any shop that is not open will be locked for 1 week. And let me tell you this. As I'm speaking to you now, when I finish this whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
each Monday will come and inspect. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. If you like, I don't mind shutting down main market for the remainder of this year. If you don't like it, go elsewhere and trade. But if you are here, we're not going to allow this. It's plain economic sabotage. And also we suspect whoever closes their shop to have some criminal intent. Those who shut down their shop, who lock up their shops on Mondays, are saboteurs, and we suspect them of having criminal intent. Now, this market is shut down. I've come here with the Commissioner of Police. I'm here with the Commissioner of Police and with the security agency. You see the soldiers. Instance for the first 1 week. If we come on Monday and it is locked and any shop is not, we'll lock it for 1 month. Anambra is open to everybody. Everybody is welcome to trade in Anambra. But if you must trade here, you must abide by the rules.
Yes.
And the rules are that markets are open Monday to Saturday.
Now, pause for a moment. That announcement may sound administrative, but the impact is deeply very human. For many years, many traders in Southeast have chosen not to trade on Mondays. This did not start yesterday. It is a voluntary, non-violent protest, as seen all over the world. Non-violent protest tied to the continued detention of the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Whether you support that cause or not, the method matters. There are no guns, no riots, no burning of markets, just people staying at home, closing down their own businesses. They did not also stop paying taxes. They did not stop paying rent. They have never come to pay rent and they say, no, minus the money for Monday. They have never come to pay tax and they say, no, don't collect the tax for Monday. They have continued to meet up with their financial obligations to the state. So, what is the real essence of closing down this business that feeds millions of ordinary people every day? When silence is answered with such cruel and serious shutdowns, a serious democratic question arises. Questions like, are we really in a democracy? Is this leadership or punishment? Because the people who will suffer first are not the politicians. It is the widow selling ogo at the market, the apprentice doing one boy at the trade centers, the young man pushing wheelbarrows, the transporter paying school fees from his daily savings. These are the people who will suffer. Democracies around the world recognize something very fundamental. Peaceful protest is never a crime, even when it is uncomfortable. From civil rights movement in the United States to anti-apartheid movements and resistance in South Africa, history shows us one lesson. When governments suppress non-violent dissent, tension does not disappear. It hardens, just like you're seeing protests in Onitsha. Closing down the Onitsha Main Market does not address the grievances of the traders. It does not resolve their anger. It simply transfers the cost to the poorest people in the food chain. And here is the part many leaders often want to avoid. You cannot separate this issue from continued detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Court rulings exist. Legal debates also exist. International attention exists. Yet, the situation remains unresolved. When the root causes are ignored, symptoms keep returning. How long are we going to continue chasing shadows as Ndi Igbo? What are the other alternative solutions that we should explore? First, dialogue. Sit with market leaders, unions, traditional authorities, and youth groups. Listening is not weakness, it is governance, and that is the responsibility of a leader. Second, mediation. The Southeast needs calm problem solvers, not economic punishments that deepen resentment of the people against the government. Third, justice and political courage. If peace is truly the goal, then addressing the core grievances, including Kanu's continued detention, must be part of the conversation. You cannot demand normalcy while abnormal conditions persist. That is not leadership. Let me be clear. Violence is wrong. Intimidation is wrong. No society can thrive under fear. But peaceful protest is a democratic right. A confident government does not in any way fear dialogue. A wise government does not respond to silence with force. Leadership is not measured by how hard you can strike. It is measured by how many people you can bring back into the conversation. The Southeast deserves solutions that reduce tension, not decisions that escalate it. Markets should be places of hope, not pressure points in political standoffs between the government and the people. Now I understand that the government of Anambra State, through her Commissioner for Trade and Commerce, has come out to say that the government loses over 8 billion naira daily on Monday sit-at-homes. And I laugh. So if you lose 8 billion naira daily, it means you make a whopping 48 billion naira in the remaining 6 days. How has this 48 billion naira that you make in the remaining 6 days reflected in the lives of the ordinary man and woman in Anambra State? Ndị Igbo, Ndị Igbo, Ndị Igbo, ka anyị welu na ile anyị gbuo eze anyị ọnụ. Let us seek solutions to the problem in our house. Let us not burn down the building because of the rat. And let us not also think that by force, an ideology can be suppressed. An ideology is bigger than whoever is involved in it. An ideology can rarely ever be suppressed with force. Those who know history know what I'm saying. An ideology cannot be suppressed by force because it is an ideology. Sit down and dialogue with these people if you're not scared of them. A responsible government is never scared of dialogue. A responsible government knows how to bring people back to the round table. A responsible government brings people back to the discussion table so that they can dialogue and discuss. We must address the big elephant in the room, which is the illegal detention of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, you will say it's legal now because he has been convicted. But there are political solutions that can be explored. How well have we explored them? Now, what do you think? Do you think shutting down Onitsha Market is the right step or the right approach or a dangerous precedent in a democracy? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you believe dialogue is stronger than force, share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next video. Bye.